It has been a week since the catastrophic train derailment and field staff killed 43 people and flattened the downtown. It took authorities days before they could enter the blast zone to assess the full damage. Air monitors are still indicating the presence of hydrogen sulfide and other volatile compounds, forcing firefighters and investigators to work in 15-minute shifts due to the toxic conditions. It took 4 days before it was deemed safe enough for area residents to return home, and a boil water advisory is in effect indefinitely. 100 residents remain displaced since the ground beneath their still-standing houses is saturated with oil. In the most contaminated areas, some people might not ever be able to return. It is still unclear exactly how much oil spilled or was burned. The Disaster News Network tried to reach authorities to get an understanding of how much spilled, but no one was able to give a definitive answer. They stated that they are still waiting for information from the scene. We do know oil saturated the ground around the crash site, entered the town's sewer system, and hundreds of thousands of gallons may have spilled into the Big River. Downstream residents are concerned that their water supply has been contaminated and are demanding answers. Frustration and anxiety was palpable in a public meeting today. The event turned quite hostile as environmentalists and local residents squared off against industry representatives. Citizens complained about symptoms such as headaches and nausea and expressed deep concern about long-term health effects. Environmental groups, including the Big River Keepers Association, stated that they have been conducting their own monitoring and have reported heavy contamination from naphthalene and believe arsenic levels to be well above legal limits. They demanded more openness and accountability. Representatives from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency responded to these concerns by stating air and water monitoring began on the morning of the derailment. They went on to say that the railroad has secured an environmental cleanup contractor that is working closely with the agency. An EPA representative asserted, "We are on site daily to ensure a thorough cleanup is conducted." At the national level, groups against Bakken oil have used this issue to rally their followers to protest in Washington, D.C. They are demanding safety measures be put in place now and a moratorium on all oil tankers be implemented until safety can be assured. Steve Adams, a volunteer firefighter, said, "It's like everything. It takes a disaster for people to start paying attention. We know we have a ton of Bakken crude coming through town, and right now, other than praying, there's a limited amount we can do." The railway authorities put out a statement saying, "The rail industry is resolved to put in place equipment, standards, regulations, practices, and training to ensure that all commodities are handled in the safest manner possible." This story is one we will be following for a while. Stay tuned. We will update you with more information as it becomes available. Thanks for sticking with DNN. Good night and be safe.